5 coins. Please deposit 5 coins. Thank you for depositing 5 coins.
Oh my god, please. I don't want to fucking play this game. I'm shaking. I'm shaking so hard. I do not want to fumble this. Please. Oh my god, I'm so done with this game. Oh my god, I can't do this shit, man. Oh, fuck. I hate that shit, man. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. I never want to play this ever again. Dude, I hated that so much. I can't fucking stand still right now. Oh my god. Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. I can't. I'm never doing that again. Oh man. Oh, that was the worst. That was the worst thing I've ever done. That was the worst. Oh my god. I hated every second of that. I am never doing that again. I am never doing that again. Yes, I beat 5020. Finally, after nearly 100 entire hours poured into this game, the challenge finally concluded. Now, obviously, this video is basically just a hit piece on 5020 and UCN as a whole, but I just want to go back in time just a little bit. Hopefully this ends up to be 10-ish minutes max, but we'll see how it goes. Also, no face cam, because I'm just really not feeling like setting it up right now. I just want to be in and out as soon as possible, get this out before Secret of the Mimic. We'll see what happens. So rewind back several years when UCN first comes out. I finally get to playing it after a few days of it coming out. I had just gotten off of, what is it, FNAF 6, the pizzeria sim. I had finally gotten all of the certificates in that game, and I thought that this just may be Scott's last hurrah. Now, I'm sure I don't need to really detail this to you, but the quality of UCN is very much hit or miss, to say the least. Anyone who has seen UCN or played it and has compared it to literally any other FNAF game can tell you that for certain it is not the greatest of the series. It really is just there to be a repetitive, quite literally infinite challenge mode for the community. And at that, it did very well succeed. For the first several hours I had played Ultimate Custom Night, I did enjoy it. I thought it was incredibly difficult, but running through all of the very basic set nights, I thought it was challenging but fun. And to that, I will say, Ultimate Custom Night is a good game if you just play it casually. But unfortunately, I did not. I decided to try and beat 5020. I must have sunk like 20 hours into the game, just trying to figure out some sort of strategies, watching the live streams of all the people who had beaten it previously. And I think I ended up getting to just about 60 hours, almost 70 in the game. And I was at my breaking point. I was so done with this challenge. I genuinely had come to dislike the game, maybe even hate it. But hate is a very strong word. We'll get to it. Now, I thought this would be the very last time I would ever come back to this game, but lo and behold, my YouTube channel starts uploading again. Nearing 10-year anniversary, by the way. I apparently started my YouTube channel on the 23rd or something of December of 2015. Would you look at that? Damn, I'm old. Anyway, so I finally restarted my YouTube channel for who even knows how many times. And I start uploading, right? I'm doing all these different marathons because I'm having fun with them. I do the FNAF marathon. It goes all right. I didn't have to do 5020, so it was fine. But UCN was still easily my weakest game, aside from FNAF 3. But I don't really want to talk about that. And, you know, I thought that'd be the end of it. But, for those of you who know, if you were there, I pushed it even further beyond. And I did a 100% FNAF marathon. This took just about 4 days. And no, I didn't do it. I left several games uncompleted. Most of them I just had to stop for my own mental health. Specifically UCN. If you watched the video for that, I made a several minute long montage where I was just actually nearly crashing out the entire time. I basically made it into a music video. It was actually one of the worst experiences ever. I ended up playing for 9 hours straight, well into the night. And I ended up having to stop myself because I just couldn't do it. Could not beat 5020. I'd even practiced a lot. And I thought that maybe I could get lucky enough, maybe after all the research I had been doing, I just might be good enough because, yeah, we have a lot better guides right now. And it did not. It affected me horrifically. I was able to finish that marathon, obviously not really a true 100%. I'll have to revisit that eventually. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, it didn't go well. And then the final straw, the very last push that I needed to complete this mode. I decided that because I was so invested in a specific video that I've been talking about for a very long time, coming out in a specific month, I decided to make a bet. I decided to give myself some motivation. Unfortunately, I was just so incredibly burned out that I lost the bet. And wouldn't you know, I promised to beat 50-20 if I had lost. I'm sure you can all understand where this has gone. 30, maybe 40 hours later, 50-20 is finally beaten. In the clip that I just showed, you can hear I'm like actually breaking down. I am shaking. I am tremoring so immensely. I can't even speak straight. My thoughts are gone. I just repeat all my words. I really just couldn't believe it. I was so mentally broken. If you were there in stream, I'd been nonverbal for quite a while there. It was even worse during that 100% marathon. 3 of those 9 hours I just wasn't talking. It was bad. It was really bad. This game, I finally made it out of the other end, and I am definitely a worse person because of it. It was not a good challenge. And I'm sorry if the scripting of this video is literally non-existent. I just thought that an unscripted, unfiltered kind of video would be best for this topic. But I just want to talk about some of the things that make this game so immensely unenjoyable. So I just have it open right in front of me. I just want to go down the list. It is genuinely the worst challenge I've ever done. It is. And it's not because it's not rewarding. It's not because it's too hard. It's mainly just because it's just not worth it. It's not fun while you're playing. There's no real way to become skillful enough to, you know, get it consistently. And speaking of skill, if you're really good during the nights, you're still not really even rewarded for skilled gameplay if your luck is bad. It's just an absolute shit show of a game. And I think one of the worst things about this was probably the community. I think the community was so incredibly toxic towards this idea that I hated a game that they loved. And so they would just come in and trash on me. They would just hate on me for not liking this game and being incredibly open about it. And sure, some of my criticisms were definitely out there because obviously I'm just mad in the moment and I blow it out of proportions. But the amount of people that would just come in and tell me that I'm just wrong for having the opinion that a lot of this game's incredibly narrow-minded like gameplay is bad. It's really just insane to see these people come in and tell me I'm bad due to, in all honesty, non-skillful game mechanics. There's just certain things you can't overcome, and I just like to talk about it. Now, I'll be the first to say there are several of these characters that straight up just do not ever affect your night. And while some of these harder ones are definitely skill-based, I would say that 90% of them are completely unavoidable. If you're watching the stream, you know for a fact that actually, out of all the animatronics, I need to bring to attention that Chica was probably the most lenient. I missed so many of her intervals and still lived despite it. But Foxy was one of, if not the worst challenge I had to overcome. His RNG is so incredibly unforgiving. You'd think that, I think it's like over a 50% chance for, oh wait, no. I believe it's a 33% chance for a flip on every 2-second interval to switch him out with Bonnie. And let me tell you, I would have some of the worst dry streaks ever where he would just not remove himself. Toy Freddy, actually the king of bad luck. I would get several runs in a row where he would basically just one-frame me on his first interval. Which is crazy, because apparently it's supposed to be a 10% chance. These mask animatronics, I would always try to do them really late, because I was always busy with watching Plushtrap or what have you, and sometimes they'd just kill me, because they don't actually have like a set kill timer. It really is just they do constant rolls based on every frame your mask is on. And if you're unlucky, you really are just unlucky and die. Oh my god, even Balloon Boy and JJ, I would have incredibly long dry streaks where I just could not get them in the vents. Some of my mouse flicks got way better during the challenge, but in no way did it negate Nightmare On, especially with Click Team. Click Team was actually one of the hardest things to overcome during this entire run. I don't know if it's a bug or not, but at certain points when your office is dark enough, you just won't get inputs. It forces you in the camera, obviously, and then it almost feels like your clicks don't matter, because I would have the camera open, I would be mashing on my mouse button, and obviously I preset up where my mouse is before the camera flips up, and it wouldn't reset until seconds later, and I don't get it. I really don't understand. It was almost like it just wasn't accepting any inputs, period, because maybe a bug, maybe Click Team is just, you know, not a good thing to be used for this game, but like, come on, man. I would have several occurrences where I would accidentally fat finger buttons, and, you know, obviously that's my fault, but I would be absolutely certain that I pressed down the correct button at the very least after I hit the wrong one, and it would still kill me because it can't take two inputs at once, it feels like. It's just so weird. I'd have so many instances where sound effects just would not play because there's too many at the same time. This game is just not, it shouldn't be on Click Team. Like, period. Withered Bonnie and Rockstar Bonnie. Oh my god, they were the worst. They were the worst. They're on, what, 14, 34 second interval? No, maybe 39. Regardless, they're basically guaranteed dead runs. Withered Bonnie is far too quick for you to do whatever you're doing in the cameras and get out in time to put your mask on. And then Rockstar Bonnie is almost a guaranteed death if you're not doing a no death coin run, in which, let me just say, all of the strategies for 50-20, death coin or no death coin, like, let's be honest, most of them are unintended by Scott, which means they're untested, which means they're incredibly hit or miss with how it works with the game. Oh my god, this is actually a really big complaint. I want to change my controls, and the game just doesn't have those options. I don't get it. I really don't. I want this camera button gone. I don't want to be flipping this camera because, let's be honest, 0 frame camera flip shouldn't be in the game. It just shouldn't. But that was basically one of the only reasons I could beat 50-20. I don't know how intentional cam stalling is, but I feel like it just should not be a thing for this guy, let's be honest. All these plushy animatronics, I feel like that was unintentional, that cam stalling works that way. Jacko Chica, I feel like Jacko Chica is actually one of the more reasonable animatronics in here. Oh my god. It's not actually Balloon Boy himself, but the fact that the stupid scrolling of The Office is so weird, because out of all the games that I want borderless for, this is not one of them. This is not one of them. I died so many times because I would flick to the edge of the screen, and it would go outside of the window and just stop all momentum from my scrolling to the left. I'd flip up a camera while trying to flash this guy, and I just wouldn't reach him because, you know, my mouse, for the very, like, first time ever in any FNAF game, pretty much, is not locked to the window. I really don't get it. Laura's fine. I never even had to deal with Funtime Foxy because obviously that's what the Death Coin strat is. But, like, bruh. With this guy active, you wouldn't be able to office stall, and you kind of just lose because of that, you know? Unless you somehow are able to get all the money for these plushies, but I literally don't even know how that'd be possible. I know for a damn certain Scott doesn't, and I feel like that's the main problem. Out of all these animatronics and all these different strategies, Scott didn't playtest any of them. Like, we know for certain that he didn't get very far on 50/20 at all. He really just pulled a Scott and shipped a game pretty much unfinished. I really never understood that mentality of custom nights are supposed to be impossible, because where's the fun in a quite literally impossible challenge? I think Ultimate Custom Night 50/20 would be impossible without all of these actual game-breaking strategies that are completely unintentional. These ducked animatronics are actually, like, the most annoying animatronics in the game for me, because out of all the guides I've watched, all of them have said something along the lines of, if you're in the cameras for 0.5 seconds, they have a chance to roll and kill you. Which is just not true according to any of the runs I've done. So many of the runs... Oh, and by the way, I'm just gonna assume... I'm assuming that as soon as the camera's on is when they start rolling. I have had so many instances where I've just straight up gotten one-framed by them. And I can't figure out why. I thought it was every half a second. Is it every half a second when your camera's open? Or are they just constantly rolling that half second, and it's just I happen to be on those intervals when my camera was open? I really don't get it. I could have sworn that most of them said it was during your camera, but I can't even, like, fathom any of these guides anymore. I've seen so many of them, they're all blending into one. I don't even know, like, which specific one gave me the best detailed answer on these guys. It really just felt like it was RNG at the end of the day that let me win that final run. And ultimately, it was, because I think that one FNAF challenge run guy, he like proved it is impossible to beat 50/20 with bad luck. Like, actually straight up guaranteed. If you get bad enough luck, you are not winning. And I think that is the most easily frustrating part of this challenge. It has to be. That's what makes me the most mad. I really just don't understand it. Some of these animatronics feel like such afterthoughts. Like, I don't know why they took these two animatronics from FNAF 2 and changed it, but kept the same mechanic. I don't know why it has to be random chance now to live the mask flip. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I don't fucking get it. I think another of easily one of the most frustrating ones ever was probably XOR. Oh my god, I have never had such a horrible time with one enemy that doesn't actually, like, directly harm you in any game ever. XOR spawns Plushtrap, which basically guarantees a near mathematical 100% chance to die to Toy Freddy, even if you're incredibly fast with the death coin. If you don't know how he works, it's every 0.0 and 0.5 interval he rolls a 10% chance to kill the player if he is dead, which chances are at the 27-second mark, and I think 32 is when I would do the 21-second Zor flip, is typically already dead by then. Almost guaranteed, I would say. And so, doing Plushtrap is nearly impossible. Wait, actually, now that I think about it, it's more like a 50% chance to die. He has a 1.6 second timer until he disappears from his chair if you're staring at him. So you need to get the death coin, flip to the camera, death coin Foxy, and then use that 1.6 seconds to basically just hope and pray that none of the ducked animatronics or Toy Freddy just straight up slaughter you. And I think it's like a 50% chance if you do it really fast, and it just equates to 2.5-ish seconds if you're really good, which is absolutely crazy that you have to survive that many rolls, for one. And two, he's not even done yet. XOR is everlasting, let me tell you. He will continuously spawn more during the night. Thankfully, none of them are nearly as much of a problem as Plushtrap, But even still, I hated him so much because apparently he has a 50% chance to spawn. Even though that is a massive margin on the 11 and 21 second intervals, which are the only intervals available to the player that will actually let them play the game and win with a death coin strategy, because 31 and onward is guaranteed death coinless strategy. Since XOR can only guarantee those strategies working on 11 and 21 seconds, those are the only ones that I would use, right? After 21 seconds and I don't see XOR, I just reset. And for some reason, I would get some of the longest dry streaks for this 50% chance character to spawn. So many runs. I think my max was like 10, 8 maybe. Spawns in a row where he just did not show up. And it infuriated me to no end. Because it's not even like I was dying to RNG. I couldn't even start. It was so bad. But I feel like that's all of my main complaints about this game. I really just... I don't want it. I don't ever want to do it again. And I know I'm going to have to, because I'm probably going to do the 100% run sometime. But I really hope you guys can understand that I do genuinely love the FNAF series. But I also genuinely think that this is one of the worst games ever made. I actually cannot play it like normally anymore. It infuriates me to no end, and the only thing that I think I'll ever open it up for is 50-20 practice to make that 100% marathon a little bit easier. If you're paying attention in that clip, you might have noticed that I didn't say a single thing regarding being happy about beating 50-20. Not a single word was uttered saying, wow, I finally did it, hooray. It was all just tears and sadness that I had to put myself through that. It was just complete regret. And I think that just about sums up my entire experience with this game. Above all else, it is a free game at the end of the day, and I am just a deranged and sick individual for forcing myself to do this. But even still, I was tired of the amount of hate I was getting for an opinion that straight up should not be controversial at the end of the day. I can't say I was happy that I embarked on this journey, but I will say I'm glad it's over. And with that, I think that's just gonna about conclude it for now.
Oh my god. Yes! Yes!
Oh my god! I'm so done with this game! Oh my god! I can't do this shit, man. Oh, fuck. I hate that shit, man. Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god! I never want to play this ever again, dude. But, yeah. That's going to be about it for today, so thank you everybody so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, join the Discord down below. We're going to be playing Secret of the Mimic this week, probably tomorrow by the time I upload this. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching once more. Lots of love to all of you, and of course, as always, have a day.